Welcome to Session 10, Angles, Triangles, and the Pythagorean Theorem. Let's take it slowly. First, we will name angles and use the rules that connect them. Then, we will use the fact that a triangle's angles always add to 180. And finally, the famous Pythagorean theorem for right triangles. Angles are named by their size. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. A right angle is exactly 90 degrees, and we mark it with a small square. An obtuse angle is between 90 and 180, and a straight angle is exactly 180 degrees, a straight line. Two special pairs, complementary angles, add up to 90 degrees. Supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. So if one angle is 30, its complement is 60 because they make 90, and its supplement is 150 because they make 180. Here is a rule that never fails. The three angles inside any triangle always add up to 180 degrees. So if two angles are 50 and 60, the third must be 70 because 50 plus 60 plus 70 equals 180. Use this to find a missing angle. The Pythagorean theorem works only for right triangles, triangles with a 90-degree angle. It says the two short sides, the legs A and B, relate to the longest side, the hypotenuse C, by a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The hypotenuse is always across from the right angle. Let's find the hypotenuse of a right triangle with legs 6 and 8. Square them. 6 squared is 36, and 8 squared is 64. Add to get 100. Then take the square root of 100, which is 10. So the hypotenuse is 10. You can also find a leg if you know the hypotenuse. Suppose the hypotenuse is 13, and one leg is 5. Then 5 squared plus b squared equals 13 squared. That is, 25 plus b squared equals 169. Subtract to get b squared equals 144. So b is 12. Here is a classic. A 10-foot ladder leans against a wall and its base is 6 feet from the wall. How high up does it reach? The ladder is the hypotenuse. So 6 squared plus h squared equals 10 squared. That gives 36 plus h squared equals 100. So h squared is 64 and h is 8 feet. Remember these. The Pythagorean theorem only works for right triangles. The hypotenuse, C, is always the longest side, across from the right angle, so never label a leg as C. And do not forget the final square root, because you solve for c squared first, not c. Congratulations! You have now covered angles, triangles, and the Pythagorean theorem, and you have reached the end of this 10-session core. To read the full lesson notes, see more worked examples, and practice GED questions, visit the course page at www.bridgetoexam.com. Keep practicing, and you will be ready for test day.